away from above. Freiburg opens up the shooting, opens up the fragging. 2 for Freiburg.
Hey guys, welcome to the ESL Pro League. We've got so many great games coming your weekend as we're finally hitting the culmination of the 3-month season, now into the finals. I'm so excited to see who's going to come out on top, but I'm joined by the lovely Anders, and we have so many good games. Any of them you're looking for that are kind of really procking in your mind?
I don't actually. I think the theme here is that pretty much all the games are going to be interesting. I think some of them are going to be more more heavy on the fan side, but I think all the games are going to be good this tournament. So yeah, it's a good constellation we've got going on. Yeah,
3 Danish teams here as well. Let's actually take a look at the groups on your screen. I had to rub that in because you're Danish to kind of point out all the teams that we have coming your way. What's that?
And none of them are going to do anything.
You know, we can hope. We can hope. There's 2 different groups here as we can see on your screen. And I'm curious to see how they're both going to do. In Group A, we've got Team Solomid, NaVi, we've got Dignitas, we've got Virtus Pro. And why don't you walk us through Group B?
Group B, obviously, NV, as you can tell, Titan, 3D Max, and Copenhagen Wolves. So we've got both the French teams going on over at Group B, and 2 of the Danish teams going on in Group A. So it's a bit of a stack going on in either group.
It's going to be insane to see what games we have. And actually, since this is Stream B, we already had Stream A already kicking off with their game. I want to go and show you the schedule really quickly so you guys have some sort of idea of the games that will be coming your way throughout today. We've had Team Solomid up against Virtus Pro over on Stream A. That's on ESL_CSGO. And I believe their first map is Overpass, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, the match we'll be bringing you to kick off Stream B is NaVi up against Team Dignitas, with Titan, 3D Max to follow, and Vias and Copenhagen Wolves to continue after that.
Yeah, and you can tell the URLs there. If you're really clever, you can keep both tabs open at the same time. And
you should keep both tabs open at the same time.
Really, I mean, really easy. There's even a tool I think called multi-twitch where you can just kind of like watch both at the same time.
Get 2 monitors, have 1 full screen on each, and then have audio for each stream in 1 ear.
You have 2 ears as well. It's so clever, isn't it?
It works out perfectly. All
it's
right,
like we were designed to watch multiple Twitch streams. I like that. Okay, well, this first game I think is going to be interesting. Dignitas and NaVi.
Yeah, so we should go over the vetoes, I guess, really quickly, just to tell you what happened. We had NaVi actually give Dignitas the first veto. They took out Overpass. NaVi responded with taking out Nuke. Dignitas chose Cbble. And then we had NaVi choose Mirage, followed up by Dust 2 being taken out by Dignitas, and then Inferno being taken out by NaVi. So the map pool we have for you is Cbble to kick things off with, Mirage second, and if we do need a 3rd map, it will be on Cash.
Yeah, kind of interesting that NaVi would take out Inferno, because it's a map they play pretty well. So I'm not really sure what that's about, but I like these maps. And, you know, I think because it's Dignitas, it's one of the reasons why we actually get to see a map like Cbble, because normally most teams will ban it, but Dignitas is one of the few teams that like to play it, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's nice to see some newer maps instead of just seeing Inferno, Dust 2, and like Cash or Mirage every single time in every series. I like to finally see these new ones. And Cbble, you know, being reworked quite a few times. I'm actually really liking the new iteration we finally have.
Yeah, I think it's much better. So a lot of credit to Valve for redesigning the map, listening to some of the feedback there. Definitely a big upgrade. I think there are a couple of things I'd still like to change with the map. Like it's one of the maps that has very few wall bangs, and I love those. So I'm really struggling to come up with
1.6 are at heart.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you can wall bang anything.
Exactly, but you know, still, I think it's pretty good, and yeah, it makes for some interesting games.
All right, I think we're going to drop you in there. Just warm up a little bit more. The knife round has already been done, which I believe Dignitas did win.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to be started on the CT side and get a little bit of audio in for you guys at home as well. And keep in mind, we don't have any observers for the stream, so lovely Anders is going to be doing all of it, I believe, for now.
Yes.
And I've heard you're a pretty damn good observer, so I have a lot of faith in you.
Well, normally when we're back at home, although it has been a long time because we you know, we're everywhere now instead of being on our own channel is how it goes. But yeah, normally it's me doing the observing, and I actually do kind of love it. So except for Nuke. Nuke is the one map that is really hard to observe. So but every other map usually going to be pretty much all right. So welcome to the show, everyone. It's Dignitas and NaVi, and it's a best-of-3 game. This is a tournament where we actually have best-of-3 games all throughout. It's amazing.
That's why we're having a ridiculously long day today, starting at 10, lasting until maybe around midnight. We'll see. But like I said, Dignitas over on the CT side, we got Kierbu, sorry if I pronounced his name incorrectly, Pimp, AZ Nico, MSL. On the side of NaVi, we have Zeus, Seas, Flamey coming into the team, Guardian, and Edward. And already some damage being traded for the side of NaVi. Yeah,
and look at how fast Dignitas are actually going to fall back. They just get the information, and then they're back already. And the fact that they spot people all the way over at the A long corridor here means they know it's not going to be anything quick happening to B. They do have 3 people here, but already some pretty good info coming out from the CT side, and they're making a really swift adjustment.
Oh, wow.
They must be assuming at this point that because they spotted them, they're not going to go for it, because they've been found out on that side of the map. And if you look at it, that's pretty much what's happening. This is a good read coming out from Dignitas.
4 men on that B side already for the side of Dignitas. Smokes being thrown in, or at least flashbangs to stall them for a little bit of time. And look at that, Nico and AZ just watching the drop down. But NaVi, they're slowly making their way through, and this pistol round is going to be huge for both of these teams. And here comes the push out of NaVi.
Oh man, in the corner there, AC with the 1 kill, Flamey with the turn. Nico trying to fall back quick as he can, but he runs out of bullets. That USPS just not enough there, but they still have so many people here. The whole team, Pimp in the background, goes down. Big kills coming in from Guardian. Gonna leave MSL alone, 1v3. He makes it a quick 1v2, and the bomb has only just gone down. Looks for one more, gonna get it. It's a double kill, looking for the 3rd one in Flamey. MSL not out of bullets just yet. Almost gonna get it there at the end. 14 health left on Flamey. Picks up another pistol. 11 bullets here, and Flamey goes down. Stunning headshot coming out of MSL, and that's going to be Dignitas winning the round. Jason, what did we just see?
A hat trick out of MSL and a huge 4-man stack on the side of Dignitas at that B site. And I have to point out, because MSL, he lost all of his gear yesterday at McDonald's. Someone apparently took it from him. So he's playing on different gear, and he still pulls out 3 kills like that? That's ridiculous.
Wait.
What's that?
He lost his gear at McDonald's?
Someone stole it, yeah. Apparently someone stole it at McDonald's. So he lost his keyboard, his mouse,
I didn't ask any questions, because typically when players say their gear got lost, it means they lost it at the airport.
No, this is at McDonald's. Yeah, so he's playing on a completely different gear, and he's still pulling out big plays like that. That's exactly what Dignitas need, and this is the man who came in and replaced Fetish.
Yeah, and they're obviously going to be playing very different roles in the game. MSL is just, I mean, he's been a little bit of an inconsistent player, and going down like that really early on. NaVi also surprising everyone here with a double AK buy for the 2nd round. Not usually what you want to go for, but it works out when they get that really early kill. And is someone going to go and pick up the rifle? It seems like Cease is en route to do that, so that's actually a really big giveaway. And it's a really cool adaptation to seeing that some machine guns being picked up so often now with the recent changes. I mean, I would not have expected that in Dignitas. Well, clearly MSL didn't expect it either, and that's going to cost them a major gun. They still have an MP7, an UMP, MP9 in there, and even a FAMAS for Kierbu. Well, down a man. What everyone has been saying is that with the advent of the SMGs, actually trying to eco against them is kind of meaningless. Like, they are so hard to play against that maybe you might as well just try and go for early AKs if you get the bomb down.
Well, they did like that cheeky thing where like Zeus bought a pistol for Flamey or something like that. They traded the AK and he got armor, and well, it's already been able to come up pretty big for them, netting them that 1 kill in this round, and they're going for a push on A. Pimp's the one to defend against this, and Zeus gets the better of him as he does finally get 1 man down, but they have this A site, and then quick rotate going to be coming in.
Nico, a little bit with the MP9 here, but they do have a pretty good hold on the bomb site. Grenade is going to be just a little bit too far. Could have been a really good angle, but 8 seconds left. The bomb will go down. It's a 2v3 right now. Nico running and gunning, going to get the first kill in there. Kebby now alone.
Oh my
Guardian.
God.
That's so cool. He's got 16 health left, and he could have tried to run, but he just stood still with the eagle and took that headshot. So great investment from NaVi, and they win the 2nd round.
He planted his feet and trusted in his skills. Oh, great shot. And not to mention a great round out of NaVi to come back after losing the pistol round without even getting the bomb down. And now, unfortunately for Dignitas, it will be on the eco. They actually do have quite a bit of flashes and quite a few smokes invested into this, and not to mention the head armor, so not much of an eco for them in the end. And let's see how NaVi go about this, taking their time, trying to get a little bit of information, and Guardian's still sitting on the deagle only.
Yeah, trying to guess if someone was going to be there. Good Molotov down to the corner. They're really making sure. This is just a really hard check of the drop zone, making sure that no one is hiding in any corners. And even having a guy stay behind to throw the flashbangs. Really good work coming out here from NaVi, I would say. Just solid solid teamwork. That was a well-orchestrated kill on AZ. Kebby going to go down as well. Not much of a chance. That was Guardian clearing that up with the deagle, so there's not a lot that the rest of Dignitas can do right now. In fact, they might want to save the armor and pistols. They obviously are not doing that, but I actually think they should.
Let's see if they do decide to go for that, but Edward's actually flanking him right behind them. I don't think they're going to be able to escape, even if they tried, and this should be free kills for him. But sees with the grenade kill on MSL, and the last one alive is going to be Pimp, still sitting at drop down with that P250 in hand, but he should be spotted out in just a few seconds. Look for the kill on a Zeus. Can't connect the shots, and that will be NaVi taking the lead at 2-1.
So I'm not sure if the kind of check that they did, because they smoked off this one area, then they Molotov this other area, and then they put one guy down. And once he's ready, the guy who's on top still throws down a flashbang, so they can check this secondary room in the drop zone. And then that's just a very nice way of doing it. I'm not sure that's always going to work. I feel like someone's going to come up with a way of stopping that, but still pretty good play from NaVi, really solid stuff. And they actually... Like, NaVi is a weird team because they're actually a really hard-working team, but there are some maps they just don't play like Nuke at all. Good stack going on in this bomb site, though.
Yeah, 5-man stack at Dignitas with just those pistols. Only a P250 on Pimp, trying to look for a couple of kills, but Flamey already able to open up the site, as well as Guardian again with the Deagle, picking up another kill this round. And Caribou, we connect on to one, but won't get much more than that. That was a little bit of an interesting play. And as Guardian, I think he ran out of bullets.
I wish I had had that from Guardian's perspective. Because it kind of seemed like he was tapping him on the back, like you've seen some of those silly movies, like, you know,
I'm behind you.
I'm right behind you, and then somehow you just don't have any more bullets. That's a little bit silly. All right, 5th round coming up, and we have actually seen in the past that teams sometimes rack up a lot of rounds on terror side on this map, even though it's supposedly it's a CT-sided map. Dignitas especially, so I'm not too panicked yet for the Danish team, but I guess we will see. 2 people pushed up over here on the A hallways, and they're going to see some action any second. I think Guardian, is he going to put is that going to be a smoke? Yeah, actually a smoke landing in here. Trying to see if they can zone them out, but it's a little bit further back. Nico getting all the attention. MSL going to pick up the first kill there on Edward. He's very low on health. He will go down regardless. Nico gets 1 and then a double, and that will definitely win it, especially because the bomb is here, Jason.
And now C's and Flamey, the last 2 men alive, with Flamey pushing over towards B, and C's coming back potentially for the bomb. But that is Flamey now down, and C's last man alive against Ford is possible. He's got the health. He's got quite a few grenades to work with. Even has a Tech 9 in his kit. But he's got 4 men to find. And he's got the bomb to pick up with 50 seconds to go. And let's see what he does do about this. Just taking his time. Not in too much of a hurry.
Oh,
is he faking with that? Oh, nice kill on the Pimp. He's going to look for the return kill. Maybe on a Nico defending the bomb. But that should be a clean pickup for him.
Is he going to realize that? There's almost no way he can know that.
Oh, he saw him. He just barely saw him. Oh, that's rough. And that will be Nico cleaning up the kill. And then he didn't toss the first gun round of the game. And now 2-3. NaVi's still ahead by 1. And you were saying, you know, we saw MSL and Nico trying to draw the fire, or Nico trying to draw the fire away from MSL. But that first fan through stared right at MSL. He was just there. He didn't care. He trusted his teammate to watch the other corner for him. But MSL was just able to get the aim off a little bit quicker.
Yeah, and that's actually a really important point, I think, because it was a really nice setup that they got going on. Dignitas. Nico out with the AWP, which is definitely his main staple, and we do have Guardian on the other side. So one of the things we're going to be looking for this game is obviously how these players are going to be doing in this game now that the AWP has received some sort of nerf. Been a lot of discussion in the community about it. I still want to see just more. I'm not ready to put the judgment.
I mean, when you saw the new maps being put into the map pool, everyone was like, "Oh, this is terrible. Why would you do that?" But after some time, people played it. They're like, "Oh, it's a really good map." But now the push coming in. Fortunately, Nico missing that first shot. And the real matchup I want to see in this is between Guardian and Nico. I remember Nico back when he's on the Western Wolves, and he just astounded me with the amount of op shots he hit. And Guardian just seems to be on fire this entire year.
Guardian is without a doubt one of the best old players in the whole world. Nico is too, but doesn't always seem to have the consistency, or doesn't always play enough, it seems. But definitely this is like a really, really good matchup between these 2 players. Edward, good opening kill first of the game for him, I think. And MSL, is he going to try and sneak through? No, he's just waiting on the other side. In the meantime, they're in the drop zone, and Pimp actually going to win that fight. Hugely important, because the bomb is making its way back, and actually, they're going to swap around and actually go up the middle instead. MSL's position is still very important. They've got a good crossfire going on here with Pimp, so this should be really tough. 18 seconds left for NaVi to try and get into the bomb site. AC's also shown up. The whole team is here for Dignitas, but they're still losing.
Okay, but he just walked through the smoke, and it seemed like maybe a little bit of a miscall. Maybe the flash didn't land where it needed to.
Time.
But with a 3-on-1.
No, they're out of time.
Oh, no! Oh, they're chasing for it. And they're not able to get the kill. Dignitas AZ coming up big. Does take down 1 before he does fall. But what a play at a Dignitas there. Maybe that little push out of the connector through the smoke was to stall them for some time.
NaVi had a guy up in the bomb site, and I think Flamey was down here with the bomb. I think they could have tossed it up there.
That was
They had
unfortunate.
6 seconds. I think that was miscommunication purely on NaVi's side, it seemed. Either that or someone made a call that we don't know about, and it made it look a little bit more silly. But that was a That had a huge impact. That was a 1 round for NaVi, without a doubt. And they did it really well, just getting good entry frags on that A-bomb site. Coming up the middle, they chose exactly the right spot to attack on. And
Edward with the entry was phenomenal coming out of that long connector.
Yeah, really good stuff. But that's a painful way to lose a round.
Yeah, it's... I mean, look for them. They can buy up again, so it's not, you know, too hurtful. But in the long run, you know, your mentality has to hurt a little bit. But either way, you know, the man I kind of also want to talk about is Flamey. We were talking about before the game started, actually off air. Really impressed with this play. 17-year-old Russian, just playing better and better, it seems, every day.
Yeah, Flamey is such a talent. And like you said, he's so young still. You got to wonder what happens if he keeps playing for a couple of years. It's actually really fun to just follow him. 40 seconds left. Another smoke goes up here, and you got to remember that this buys them like 17 seconds unless NaVi want to try and go through, but NaVi isn't a team that typically do that. Now, they've got the boost going on here with Guardian that we saw. We've seen this earlier.
Saw that Fnatic.
Yeah, Fnatic trying to do it at Katowice, but not going to spot anyone. MSL is essentially holding this bomb site alone. Nico is kind of close by, walking into the middle, going to flash his way down there. MSL takes the peak. Will take down Zeus quick with the bomb. Nico going to fight and win against Edward, and might want to take a second fight here. He doesn't quite spot the player, so he might end up going down to it. Flamey already out behind the wood panel, but the timing, they're just a little bit too hesitant here, NaVi.
Oh, wow.
Good
and
kills
Dignitas cleaning up for that. I don't know what's going on in the NaVi camp, but they're just playing, it seems, a little bit too slow. I mean, the delayed smokes, like you just pointed out, in middle out of MSL, delayed them so long that they couldn't even get through in time.
And this is one of the main staples of NaVi's play on any map. On any terrorist side, NaVi will always be the team to play it really slowly. I think the most absurd map they do it on is obviously on Inferno, but it seems like they've sort of applied this style to Cobblestone as well. And maybe Dignitas have just read that and said, fine, you know, if we save our smokes until 40 seconds, which is really late to save your smoke. Like, usually you have used most of your smokes before the 55-second mark or something like that. If you're really, really good, you try and save it for around, you know, 40, 35, but that's hard to do. So well played on Dignitas actually doing that. That's one of the reasons why they won that round.
It's a really big investment too, because if they push before that time, you're kind of caught with your pants down. But there we go, towards drop. Pimp does spot out a couple of men, and it looks like the push will come in towards this B side. But Pimp there, Caribou, and AZ all waiting to receive, but can they stop the 5-man squad? AZ comes up big with 2, looking for a couple more as they do come down, drop down. He can't get seized. And now Pimp going to be coming around to back up his teammate who had just fallen. And NaVi with 50 seconds left to go. They have time to work with, but they're down 3 men. And now Guardian Edward not able to do too much, but again, you have to keep in mind, NaVi, all they had was 1 gun, but Edward making this really expensive for the side of Dignitas. 35 seconds to go. He could get the bomb towards the site, but he's got to be careful. Nico still has it off in hand.
And MSL is going to catch him just before he makes it around. A little bit of a shame there. Great job from Edward, though. Those 2 kills definitely making a big difference later on in the game if they can start connecting the rounds. Zeus buying an AWP for Guardian, and actually, whoa, look at this double AWP setup, and Edward being one of them. That's very interesting. But Nico
where's Edward going? This Edward looks like he might be going for a quick pick towards B, and Guardian's over towards middle trying to watch a potential push or a cheeky little play towards long connector. And Edward, actually, he's getting super aggressive at B. He's looking for something, and he gets it onto AZ, looking for maybe the second kill as he just spot him out, gets it as well on the Caribou, and now that opens up this B site.
What an opening from Edward. This is some godlike play coming out from him. Flamey going to help out and take down Pimp. Perfect play coming out right now for the NaVi team. MSL's going to drop Guardian, but it'll lose them the AWP. Should not lose them the round. And if they just play this one safe, they've already won it. MSL looking for an opening.
Zeus has the bomb. Yeah, he has the bomb.
Oh, but there's no way that MSL can know this, that he's going to be there. You're actually right. That would have been scary if somehow MSL had been checking.
That could have lost them the round again. I mean, they do have a lot of time to work with. You have Edward back in sight. C's pushing up towards A to maybe flank onto Nico. And Nico trying to shove middle with 19 HP and the op in hand.
This should definitely already be won. So Nico gonna make his way out. That's just really, really good play from NaVi. And Edward getting the spawn close to the bomb site, like as close as you can, does make a little bit of difference. He spawned kind of like towards the stairwell, running really quick and then just stopping to take the peek down where it's very, very common for people to just stand and wait. So, I mean, either to get boosted or to just stand there and wait for someone to peek out. So great job on Edward's part. That was a huge double opening.
I love to see someone that can just pick up the op like that and come up pretty big into a round. I mean, double op investment is really expensive. It can be very costly. But you know what? It sure as hell worked out for him. It's going to net them their 4th round. But Nico, he's being chased by quite a few men. And I believe that is C's coming up from behind him. Oh, and he'll get the kill too. That's the op taken out of his hands. And Dignitas will build about this round for the majority, it seems.
Right, so just to quickly point out, if you look at the scoreboard here, 2 people, AC and Pimp, who are below 2,000. So that one round that Edward had earlier with the P250 where he killed 2 people, that's not coming back to haunt Dignitas because they have just that, you know, that much less money to work with, and that's going to make a big difference. So they're slowly being ground down here. If NaVi can just survive and finish this eco round, they're off to a pretty good start.
They're looking at round number 5 on the board, and not too bad for that Cobble T side. And again, it looks like they're going for the smoke and the Molotov. Will we see the man drop down again? And then get the flash in, seized. Looks like he won't be going for it, but there's a 4-man stack out of Dignitas over towards this B site. MSL playing alone over towards A. See, he's getting close, but...
Wow, okay, he's going to go for it. That is actually kind of crazy, and Cbble actually burns alive. Guardian going to go a kill. C's just charging into the bomb site all alone, and maybe they're going to realize Pimp trying to take this shot, going to go down, and Nico all alone. I'm wondering what happened to C's then. That seemed like a crazy idea. It worked perfectly, but the fact that this smoke and Molotov combination that we've seen in the drop zone here, it can actually work in a number of different ways. Because if it works really well to take the drop zone, every time you do it, the other guys are going to make the call that it's happening. So you can also start using it as like a signal and then essentially fake off it. Because this time they actually had a lot more, like first of all, he was alone. Last time they did it, there was someone else there with him. That was a big indication that it should have been just like a passive play from C's. And the other thing is the rest of his team, almost all of them, were over at middle. So I think maybe they can also use it as a fake. It's a nice combination.
It's great mind games.
Yeah, I like it. Well, regardless, we're into the 11th round. Still a lot of Molotovs being picked up by NaVi here, and they put together a buy, and it's pretty decent, but a lot fewer smokes. So this time NaVi's slow style is probably not going to get punished as hard, because Dignitas don't really have the equipment to stop them.
Let's see how it works out, though, as we do have, looks like a 3-man push out NaVi over towards B. Nico getting completely smoked off, and Zeus looking for that push onto long connector. But Nico backing off, does have the op still. And AZ, I feel like he wants to get so many kills. Like he wants to be aggressive. He's playing antsy. He's rotating around the map quite a bit to really be that playmaker for his team.
Yeah, but look at this. Seized has actually managed to get down once again into the drop zone. Not sure if Pimp is realizing Zeus will go down, but you can see the bomb's already been rotated over here. They realize that they might have an opening. Edward gonna start off, misses the next shot, but then in comes Seized. Oh, he goes down, and so does Edward. It's a big couple of kills coming in from Dignitas. Flamey finally gonna open up on Cbble. Still a 2v3, and they duck in, almost get that kill. Grenade follow-up would do it, but they don't have one. So they're gonna try and put the bomb down here. Nico hiding behind the tree and the rock down there. And the bomb down, but the whole Dignitas team right at the edge. And it's going to be Nico going down. Guardian with a big kill. Flamey with a big kill now. All on MSL. He clutched in the pistol round. Might have to do it again here. 1v1 versus Guardian, who's hiding in that back. And he shoots right through. Great angle from MSL. And that will be a triple kill to clutch it once more. And it highlights a really important feature that a lot of teams took a long time to realize, which is that this whole area back here is paper thin. There is nowhere to hide. Any angle. It doesn't matter these hay bales in here or anything. You're going to get shot right through this box.
And just amazing play of MSL. That was the second hat trick of this game so far. And credit to Pimp, too. He pushed through window into drop down to catch them from the flank when they were pushing in towards site to really slow down the pace. But again, MSL coming up huge. Again, not even on his own gear. Gotta give credit to that man for really stepping up. He's currently sitting at 11-7, and Nico does open up with the kill onto Guardian.
Great stuff there. Just a little bit of a forward position to make it work. A lot of trading going on over at the bomb site, but Pimp comes out on top with a second kill on Flamey there. And now Edward goes down, tried to walk through the smoke, which is always a big risk. Zeus, I don't know what he could do at this point here. And sadly, the money on NaVi is really uneven. You can tell 5,000 there on Flamey, but then we're down to 2,000 on Guardian. So they might just have to try and even out the money. What we haven't seen from NaVi and what maybe they want to try and do, and actually Zeus picks up the one Tech 9. I was going to say Tech 9 rush, but
I still remember Katowice with Olaf Meister.
Yeah.
34 kills in the AK, 33 at the Tech 9.
But it has been nerfed a little bit, the Tech 9,
yeah.
So I'm not sure that's going to make the biggest difference right now. But
well, it was just the ammo nerf, right? Not the actual accuracy.
But it might be enough. I mean, it might put a little bit of a limit. Like I said, I just want to see more of these new guns in action in the game before I start complaining too much. Cbble and AC still over at the B bomb site here with Pimp close by. Dignitas, they did choose this map, and right now they're doing pretty well. I think if they can get up to 8 or 10 rounds, they're gonna be pretty happy with that.
Oh, nice flash comes in out of AZ. He's actually blinding 3 of them, looking for a little bit of damage. Pimp does pick up the kill on the Flamey with the grenade, and the push coming in from drop down. Pimp picks up a second, he picks up a third before getting shut down by C's. And now it's a 3-on-1 as Garen's the last man alive, and he won't do too much after that as Cbble picks up 2. And Dignitas shutting down the push out of NaVi. Very well done by them.
Yeah, that was a complete shutdown. One of the things that, in my opinion, has failed quite miserably in the past here for teams to try and do is this idea of walking out onto the plateau over at B and just standing here and fighting. I feel like it's a it's a really dangerous plan, and I've seen it work very few times. So, but a lot of teams still kind of do it, and I guess it's not necessarily always a choice, but it's kind of a situation where you want to do something else, but so many grenades rain in, and any kind of hesitation, suddenly you're stuck there, and that could be a big problem.
Not to mention just how many angles you'd have to watch, from being shot at. But now NaVi's slowing things down back again, looking for maybe a push over towards A. And MSL and Nico, again, a 2-man squad. I think it does open things up with the kill on a Flamey. And again, credit to MSL doing fantastic, sitting at 13 and 7. On the other side, Flamey at 15 and 11. So he's really doing well for his team, too.
And look at the switch up from Dignitas. This is a really good call from the leader here on Dignitas, because they've been holding so solidly in the middle of the map, controlling drop zone. Now they switch it up and say, okay, let's put 3 people in A. They're thinking NaVi, they're going to want to change it up, and they're exactly right. They're guessing the round where NaVi want to go A perfectly. This is beautiful Counter-Strike we're watching right here. MSL trying to turn around for what he thought was going to be a flash in, and he goes for it again, and there it is. He wins that fight versus Zeus. Big kill coming in, and now the rotation is happening as well. Only one person is a distraction over here, and that's Seized. He has to win this fight and try and convince them something's going on at B, otherwise this is not going to work, and AC will shut him down. Edward all alone. Great read coming out from Dignitas, and they're going to find themselves at 9 rounds now.
Well done, and looks like Edward should be able to save the op. No one even close to him just yet. The Dignitas, it looked really sketchy. Keep in mind, they won the pistol round, then they lost the second round because of the double AK buy. And yet they've been able to come back, take so many in a row for them. I think 4 currently and 4 before they lost to the round right before that. But, you know, it really looked scary for them at first. But they've done such a great job of reading into NaVi, like you were saying, with the rotates and stacking towards the A site now. But NaVi now into the last round of this first half. They have an op, a couple of Tech 9s, and it looks like they maybe want to play a little bit aggressive. Maybe that Tech 9 rush you're expecting or hoping for. No, not going to be happening this time. Sorry, Anders. You have to wait till maybe next half for
It's
that.
NaVi, like, you know, expecting any kind of rush, actually. But I think this is the closest we'll see to NaVi ever rushing, basically. Like, they're pushing before the minute mark. That in itself, I think that constitutes a rush if we're talking about NaVi. Moving in, Pimp and Nico still here, and with MSL over at the long hallways. Still NaVi, they're gaining on this bomb site rather quickly. Trying to see if they can move up close. Seized, hiding in the smoke, and is going to go for that fight. And if he could have won it, it would have been big. MSL with the kill as well. Still got 9 bullets left. He goes down to Guardian, but it might have been too late anyway, as Pimp is cleaning up the rest of the push, and Edward will be alone for the last round of the half here. 10-5. I think that's a really good result for Dignitas. They're going to be excited about this, and NaVi, they did a lot this game, but towards the end of it, I think Dignitas really started to get a good read on what was happening.
Yeah, we have to keep in mind, like, I actually could not tell you who the new in-game leader for Dignitas is with Fetish being out. I actually don't know off the top of my head. But whoever is calling for them has really, you know, kind of brought them to a different level, I would say, because they're reading into NaVi so damn perfectly.
My guess would be it's probably Pimp doing most of the shot calling on this team. But
you know, Pimp, he's... I remember him, you know, back in the day we're doing like the EMS 1 raid call stuff. This was like years ago in like 2013. And Pimp was always a solid player, and till this day, I still say he's one of the most solid players. He's currently sitting at 12 and 11. He comes up big when Dignitas need him. Credit to that man. I
think I mean, actually, annoyingly, I think this team on paper is better than it's performing most of the time. Right. So like, it's like continuously annoying for me. And then, you know, we were making fun of the fact that there are 3 Danish teams here, but I have like a suspicion that not all of them are going to do super well at this this tournament, or I fear that. Because Jason, it's the it's the hardest thing about being the one Danish caster in the scene is that there are so many Danish teams and none of them ever perform when they really need to.
How do you feel?
Horrific.
How do you think I feel being American, seeing the American teams not perform well? I mean, at least you're European, so you can claim, yeah, you know, we win every CS tournament. But I'm American, where we don't win like anything unless it's like ESCA land on our home turf.
Well, I believe that'll change at some point, Jason.
I hope so. I really do. I really do.
Yeah, I think so. The North American scene is so hungry. So hungry. Okay, second half coming up here. NaVi and Team Dignitas. It's a best-of-3 game, and it's the first map, but the second half. And already, look at this rush coming in here. We've got a Tech9 and MSL going for the opening here. Well, actually, AC's already stolen it. Flamey with a great double return. Pimp trying to see if he can shoot someone in the back over here. Flamey finally going to go down. Guardian coming in with the Glock in hand. Sorry, the P2000 in hand. Going to pick up the first kill there and try and go for a second one if he can. 2v2, and who's coming up from behind? It's Seized, and he may just finish this round. This could be the comeback moment from NaVi, where they suddenly get the edge. Takes one, and Pimp, how is he going to put the bomb down in this 1v2? Trying to see if he could do it from the back lines. He can't even escape. They've got him pinned in here. He goes down, Seized with a great flank, and that's going to win NaVi the round. And that might be all they need. I think if Dignitas had made that rush work, it could have been really rough, but they don't, and they don't even get the bomb down. And NaVi did that in their T-side pistol. They at least got the bomb down so they could buy a second round. Now, instead, it's Tech9's. But what NaVi did might have been even better.
What was really rough about that round is that Pimp had the bomb in back of sight for an extended period of time, and he didn't even go for the plant, trying to win out in that 2v2, at least make it a 2v1 before he goes for it. But now NaVi with guns, Dignitas with some armor and some Tech9s. And they're looking for that B hit. Guardian's already pushed up long holes towards A, so he knows there's no one towards middle. And this is a 4-man stack out of NaVi. They're prepared for this. And that nade is going to do some ridiculous damage as Flamey picks up the first kill.
And then 2 MP7s as well. There's nothing you could do at this point. Cbble just putting AC out of his misery. He's not even going to give him up to the enemy. Just kill him before it even happens.
I still say that should count as a kill. I mean,
it's a mercy killing.
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking
go with
about?
it.
Well, maybe. That did not work out, not even a little bit for the Danish team. But you're right, that grenade to start off with, that's painful.
And it's a great push out of Guardian, too, to get that information early on to allow them to go for that 4-man rotate. And look at this. Oh, wow, Easy coming up big on a C's with the first kill. They only have Glocks, but now they have that MP7. The Guardian raining down the pain, picks up 3. Looking for a couple more. He can't connect on the Nico. And now it'll be a 2-on-3. And NaVi's already here prepared.
Double grenade kill, almost a second double grenade kill with that one from Zeus, but gonna clean it up with the FAMAS. That's a lot of grenade damage from NaVi in just 2 rounds. Right now, Flamey, as we were talking about him earlier, top fragging at 18. So that's super impressive. This guy is just very, very good. And his introduction to the Counter-Strike scene, in case anyone, at least outside of Russian circles, was that first game they had versus a team called ESG on Train, where Mike Kilele and a couple of other players were playing, and he got like massively accused of hacking, which was so it was really funny. Someone should go back and look at that. Yeah, so that was how Flamey sort of was introduced to everyone, but he's just a very solid player.
Yeah, it's great to see, you know, still new talent always rising up and challenging, you know, the old guard. You know, we have players who are 28, almost 29, or going to be 29 this year, and then you have a 17-year-old who can do stuff like this. It's
let's not make 29 sound like that, can we?
I was thinking of Taz in my head when I said that, actually. But Zeus picking up 2 big kills. This is the gun round. Guardian does secure one onto Nico, and Kierbu and Pimp, the last 2 alive. They do have a bomb at least, and they still have 55 seconds to work with. But this is going to be tough to really commit towards any single one of these sites, and to look for even a bomb plant.
Absolutely no entry here for Dignitas. This is a little bit painful. It is their map, so I mean, they probably have a couple of tricks up their sleeves, but whatever they were trying this round.
Oh my gosh, Pimp. He's like right under him, and he gets the kill on a Zeus. You can just see that with X-Ray. It's always so tough to see situations like that. But Pimp now in a 1-on-4. Can't do much about that. Flamey does shut him down, and now we're 1 round away from tying things up. It's 10-9 in favor of Dignitas.
Yeah, this is a pretty even game right now. I don't think anyone is heavily favored to win it. If anything, I think actually NaVi have a slight edge right now. I mean, I want to see something special from Dignitas. I want to see the reason they picked this map. Because I remember in the past they've been pretty good at playing T-side, so I expect them to come up with something cool.
When you think about the mind games where we had NaVi, you know, for the drop down, they would Molotov off one section, smoke the other, and then send a man down there so he can push his way through with the help of a flashbang. And they did that quite a few rounds in a row, and Dignitas haven't really done too much, and Edward just spraying in between everything, and the man does get down in front of him, and he's flashed out completely, but he picks up what MSL respawns, and now Pimp trying to do something with the help of Caribou and Nico as they finally secure a gun or two, but they're still getting picked off 1-1. He takes his teammate.
Yeah, that's definitely not ideal. Guardian, though, covering the one side. Su's going to pick up the kill, and there it is. So NaVi will stabilize. I actually have no idea how Edward survived that. There's like a couple of really absurd stuff that was going on there. First of all, Edward managed to spray through to one angle where he didn't touch anyone through that smoke.
It was like a field goal.
Yeah, it was incredible. And then he should have absolutely died because they were chasing him, but he did like a really cool backwards jump. And then everyone was flashed, I think no one could see anything.
Exactly.
So if Edward doesn't get that kill, you gotta wonder if Dignitas can actually just outright win that round. But
they made it expensive at least for now. They pick it up 3 with just a couple of pistols that they had. So honestly, credit to them for that. But we're all tied up on the 21st round. And Dignitas seem to be playing it a little bit slow now as they're just kind of waiting for their moment. They're waiting for an entry, which they've been, like you said, really struggling with so far on this T side. They've had Nico to do it on the CT side. Countless times towards A. They've had MSL being able to push up long hauls. The T side's proven to be a little bit tough for them.
Well, this time they've put MSL into the drop zone, and he's made this is so much map control right now for Dignitas, way more than they should have got. And that spray is going to start things off, and Edward goes down as well. This is exactly what Dignitas need. In fact, NaVi making the call already to not really try and fight it, maybe look for exit kills, and that's what they should do.
And they tried to read into that round. They stacked 3 men towards the A site, like we saw Dignitas do just prior. But you see that, you know, both ends of that story. You see where it works out really well for them, they can shut down a team. And when it doesn't work out for them, you have MSL push up their drop down, get behind your teammates at B, and pretty much secure them the round.
That is so hard to deal with when you get that kind of opening for the CT point of view. This middle of the map is just so important. It controls everything. It's a section of the map that never existed in the 1.6 version of Cobblestone, so it's really interesting. It makes for some really good dynamics on the map. It makes it a lot more interesting.
It's such a huge choke point too, because it pretty much isolates the B site completely. If you get one man down there and he gets full control of that area, and then transitioning from A to B, I mean, you have to push through middle maybe to get behind them, and you have to hope to win out on a nice 1v1 when they're already in position in the drop down. Really tough, but honestly, credit for Dignitas, for MSL for being ballsy enough to do that.
Yeah, that worked so well. That's going to give them a little bit of an edge, but 3 rifles saved from NaVi, and if you look at the bank going on Guardian and Seized, it means the CT side, they can still make a couple of buys work here, as long as they don't start losing too many consecutive rounds. Where is Flamey hiding? Sorry, Edward going to pick up that opening kill, and that's obviously a big one. It's a double up setup once again for NaVi. Normally in the past, you'd have said Guardian would have been as good as having 3 Orbers on your team, so why go for a double AWP setup? And then, of all the people who might try and do it, not very common, I think you'd pick Edward to be the secondary AWPer, but it's really cool that it's working.
Yeah, and I really wonder with the recent AWP changes, does it favor some AWPers, or people who didn't even AWP before, you know, as a main kind of staple, to, you know, oh, I'm really good at sitting in position holding it, but I'm really bad at the peaks, you know, kind of thing. But so far it's working out. Nico trying to push him with the AWP. Flamey does get, secure a kill onto AZ. Nico last man alive against 5. And he's got an AWP trained right against him from that statue, and he will miss that first shot. It was the second, unfortunately. Zeus does clean things up, all tied up. And NaVi looking pretty damn strong on the CT side. Yeah,
that's actually a theory I'll double down on that, Jason. I think that's not a bad way of thinking about it. Yeah, maybe we're going to see people AWPing who normally would not have been part of the old AWP meta game, but could do it now. I mean, the one person I thought about as soon as I saw this style, or as soon as I saw the change here, was Kucha. As like the ultimate sit in one place and just cover one angle AWPer that I've ever seen, and he's like incredibly good at it. So I haven't seen him since the patch, but I'm hoping that we will soon. Seized, poking forward, spots one person out there. Maybe hard to deal with if you're on the CT side. That's going to be hard making a call. And look at this execution going to come in any second. Zeus, he might be the guy to shut this down entirely. He's just waiting for the call.
Not even looking anywhere near him too. And they have a 4-man stack with Guardian.
Flamey's got a flashbang as well. One flashbang onto. He's going to put a flashbang onto the box in front of Zeus here. That's going to be perfect.
Oh, He's going to try to go for it. Actually, Incinerator Grenade trying to stall him, and will get taken down. Zeus, though, coming up big, secures one. Can't get the second. Nico does shut him down, but Edward is still alive in the back of side. He does fall to Nico, and finally Dignitas able to get some entry frags and get in towards the speed side with the help of those smokes to cover things off with. And Guardian will just be shut down for now, but time is ticking. Bomb has been planted, and Seas has a man right off to his right-hand side if he does push out and not look in that direction. And Dignitas looking for the hold. Seas does secure the kill on the Guardian. Now there's one man alive. It's Seas, and he's up against 3. He's going to back away most likely and try to save the gun. Maybe pick up a cheeky kill with that grenade, as it does do some really good damage to Cbble. But now he's being pushed from all different angles. And that should be Dignitas securing their 12th round. Well done, Nico. 3 kills. Hat trick out of him with some big off kills.
Really, really important round for the Danish team, but I expected more out of the Zeus flamey crossfire. I think
you're right.
I think what worked really well for the Danes is that they coordinated their push between drop zone and the main entrance to be really well. So it was hard for Flamey playing in the middle of all of this to know exactly where to look. That really made it hard. But it's also down to Zeus, I think, only getting 1 kill. I think he could have done a little bit more, but 20/20 hindsight and all that. Great grenade and a lot of damage here. Seized, shutting down Dignitas in the middle. Flashbang in as well. He goes down, but still more people in this bomb site.
Dignitas have to be careful with MSL at 15 HP and AZ at 47. You know, nicely timed grenade could take out 2 people yet again. But we've got Flaming Guardian in the back of sight. We've got Zeus on the transition. In connector, and Edward still in the back of B with an M4. And Dignitas not putting all their eggs in one basket just yet, though. It looks like they will be set up for an A push.
It's hard to push anywhere when you've got 2 people who are that low and a third one who's not far off either. But
well, we have one smoke out of the side of NaVi. Like, Flamey's the one sitting with it, so they can't really stop them from pushing. Yeah, they have 3 flashes across the team, but that's not going to be enough to hold back Dignitas, who are still sitting with so many smoke flashes and even a Molotov to work with.
Guardian and the rest of the team feel like the more time passes by, the more we feel like this is going to be a B push, and they're exactly right. Edward, good corner here. Zeus, I think they've got this. The only thing that could go wrong right now is if Nico finds a kill here and makes them change their mind, but they're already pushing out to the other side of the map here. Edward, great angle. 1, it goes for a second one. Guardian held up with a kill, and that is pretty much the push done. AC should be out of time and almost... Oh, what? They get the kill regardless, and Nico wins it on the other side. That's a quad kill from AC. Unbelievable that he could win that situation. They were very nearly out of time, and they should have lost that. That was a 1-on-2 for AC at the end.
Wow.
And once again, just to point this out, as we were talking about earlier, once again, more proof that this hut back here is very, very deceptive. Everyone feels like you can go and hide back there, and you definitely can't. It's almost like you should mentally tell yourself, I'm out in the open when I'm there. There's no cover here.
It's like a placebo. It's like, I'm behind something, so I think I'm safe. And then you just get shot completely through the wall and get taken down. But what a play out of AZ. Really coming up big with Dignitas. They did it 13-11 as we're into our 25th round. And this is almost a full save out of the side of NaVi. Just a couple of pistols bought up. But Flamey looking for a kill. If he can get this on the MSL, this could be huge. And wow, just MSL on point today. As it looks like they will go for the push in towards B. Zeus trying to hold on. And he can't do much against AZ, who's just been on fire from that last round alone. And Season guarding the last 2 alive. MSL not on a lot of HP. But the bomb will make its way in towards B and will get planted shortly.
Oh, it was a big problem for NaVi. They were in such a good position just a couple of rounds ago where they had the money, they had the back going on, and even when they lost the rounds, they managed to save so many rifles, but they've been hurting ever since.
I think it's in that last round alone, they had a major, well, not a major stack, but they had a stack towards B. They read into that perfectly, and Edward was able to pick up 2 big kills, but how do you predict AZ picking up a quad kill like that? You know, it's always tough to kind of be in those situations.
Yeah, Guardian picked up the first guy when they came into that bomb site last round, and then Edward got the double kill, and that should have been it. Like, that's when you win the round.
Well, don't tell that to AZ, because he doesn't believe in that at all. And he's currently sitting at a whopping 15 and 18. Actually, across Dignitas, all of them are playing fairly decent. I mean, you have Cbble kind of lagging behind at 10 kills, but you've got 19 for MSL, 16 for Pimp, 15 for AZ, and 16 for Nico.
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to watch a game where no one is really underperforming heavily. It doesn't matter that much that there's a kill difference between Cbble and the rest of the team here. That's not awful or Seized and the rest of them up here. That's not what's making the difference right now. They're all doing reasonably well. So that's kind of good. A little bit of a pause going into it here, but at 14-11, feels like Dignitas are on their way with a victory. It's not set in stone yet, but it's looking good. It is their map pick as well, so we were wondering if they had something planned on T side that would show us why they picked the map, and I think we have already seen a couple of answers. They've done pretty well.
They have performed so damn well on Cbble. And of course, guys, this is a best of 3. It's a best of 3 throughout the entire tournament, which is awesome to see. You always like seeing, the best teams always come out ahead, and sometimes in a best of 1 format, that doesn't necessarily happen.
Oh, yeah.
But our second map, when we do get to it, will be Mirage. I always love a little bit of Mirage. That's probably one of my favorite maps, if not my favorite map in the pool. Definitely.
Another map where I must say I have struggled to try and come up with some tricky stuff that we haven't seen before, and I actually do. I found a couple of spots, Jason, that are.
You want to share it with us?
Well, see, I'm wondering because now that I got into this whole business of making YouTube videos, I thought should I save it for that?
I remember seeing one thing that really surprised me was seeing Guardian with a smoke from T spawn in towards B catwalk. And he just threw it completely over the entire map, and it was just fantastic. We saw a couple of nice fakes come out of that. But then again, with the skyboxes being changed around, like for instance on Dust 2, I'm curious to see what's going to happen soon out of that.
It's one of the. I'm really happy that Valve are making these changes to the skyboxes. I think it's such a cool idea, and I'm not even opposed to the fact that they're doing it sort of slowly. Because if you change all the skyboxes in one patch, it'll be like
so
the consequences.
Stuff to learn.
So hard to predict. So it's a really nice pace that they've got going on, and the skybox changes are definitely making the game more fun and more skillful. It's like hiring the skill cap for the teams. It's really cool. But we're not quite done yet here. Grenade up. Oh. If there had been 2 pixels more to the right, that would have been a perfect dink.
That would have domed someone. Yeah. Oh. I always love seeing those. But either way, Dignitas looks like they're going for a potential push over towards this B site. They do have quite a few guns. Edward already able to secure the first kill in the push. It's happening right behind Edward. Does get shot a couple of times, but Hazy will get the better of him here. Zeus able to respawn and Pimp able to shut him back down. The bomb has made its way back in towards site, and they've got them completely smoked off. Nico coming up big from platform, as now C is able to respawn again onto Pimp, but they're completely smoked out. This is going to be so tough for a retake, but there's not a lot of HP on AZ. He's down to 11 health.
Oh, he's reloading as the smoke clears. He couldn't know that, but AZ's going to pick up that kill. It was looking so good. Again, Edward so good with the entry frags, but it's just not enough now. Guardian all alone here, 1v2, trapped in a corner. Deagle is out now. Wants to get close and see if he can do this, but they're juking him, and AC will pick up a 3rd kill of the round and make it to match point, or map point, sorry, here for Dignitas, 15-11. I've got to touch on something, because I did get, just a little bit of nerd chills watching Edward, what he did. There's like a tiny, really nerdy detail going on here, but he gets the first kill over here, then he gets shot in the back from someone all the way over from the drop zone, and he never turns. All he does to adjust for that situation is walk backwards, but he's still facing that angle. That actually takes a lot of sort of mental strength to not worry about that. And he just says, no, I know the map so well that I know if I just take 2 steps back, I'm going to be covered for the wall. And that's it. So he still died, but it was a very cool moment for Edward.
Shows the faith in his teammates, too, to be able to back him up and protect him from that corner. Oh, look at this. He's in the perfect spot, but he can't connect the shots. MSL does pick up that, and now they're looking for maybe a push on towards this A site with that man advantage. Remember, they're 1 round away from being up 1-0 here in this best of 3.
Yeah, looking really good. Despite NaVi just winning the pistol round in the second half, it looked like they were about to make a comeback happen. Still not impossible that we could see overtime, and what a way to start the tournament if that, we always want overtimes. Flamey hiding in a corner where a certain Freiburg once hit and managed to finish around, but he's going to lose patience.
I love that play of Dignitas because they've done this prior where they got a kill towards A and then they backed off towards B, but they just waited for the push, and look at that. Flamey picking up 2 big kills. That's the bomb now down. It's allowing time for his team to rotate, and he gets a 3rd. He can't get the 4th, unfortunately, as AZ does clean him up, and Pimp secures a kill on Zeus. Now it's all on Edward in a 1-on-2 situation. Bomb will be making its way in towards site in just a few, but the smoke towards connector has worn off. And Edward needs to come up huge. 17 seconds on the clock. Bomb now down. And he's just pushing straight in towards site. He's not even looking towards his right where Pimp is currently waiting. And let's see if he can do anything about this. AZ 24 HP. And Edward slowly making his way in. The bomb's taking away spots out the man towards connector, or towards long haul. It's Pimp, and he gets the kill onto the man in sight. If he can soak or flash this off, he could maybe get in and maybe get that defuse in time.
But he doesn't have a kit, and that's so unfortunate for Edward here. I love this idea. Fakes it once, but he's almost already out of time. Sprays on through, and that's the round. Dignitas definitely already won it. You can see GG being called here. I mean, Edward gets the last kill, but it doesn't really matter. I feel like I'm constantly ending up in a situation where I'm having to highlight Edward, even though like they don't win the rounds that he's in, but he still plays so well. I'm so excited because Edward is like one of the most interesting players to watch, but not good enough this time, unfortunately. It's going to be 16-11 for Dignitas, playing on Cobblestone, which was their map pick. Well played on their part.
It was. And, you know, we have to kind of question a couple of things we did see out of NaVi. For instance, in one of the early rounds on their T side, they had the bomb in sight, and then they, I can't remember who it was, but he like walked out of sight completely and didn't go for the plant, and they lost just based off of time.
Yeah, I think that was definitely one of the really, really rough rounds for
it was really questionable
NaVi to lose. And then the other round where they did the really crazy one with the quad kill over at B, where they got the entries, that should have been on one round for NaVi.
Yeah.
So with that, we would have probably seen overtime, or maybe even just a victory for NaVi. It was actually really close.
And you look at just the deciding moment of that that round too was Flamey's on.
Yeah.
Instead of flashing towards that long hall, he said put an incendiary grenade behind him to protect himself, and that might have cost him the, like I said, the game. And still, I mean, NaVi's still playing pretty well. I mean, that was a really close game considering all things.
And one of the reasons I think why we see a lot of teams do ban out this map against Dignitas lately, but NaVi are sort of handicapped by the fact that they always ban nuke. So Dignitas know that's always going to happen. They can just play, you know, they can pretty much sure they can pick this map. They won't against other teams.
Well, they won't have to worry about nuke too much longer, as it's now taken out of the map pool. But either way, guys, we're heading to a quick little break. But when we come back, we'll be kicking off Mirage here between Dignitas and Team Dignitas, NaVi and Team Dignitas, and we'll be back in just a few.